Bauer here with Travel Younger. We are in the very beautiful, very ancient city of Athens, Greece. That's the Acropolis, the Parthenon up there behind me that my beautiful wife and videographer Kathleen is photographing right now. And the reason we're doing this video is because when people think of Greece, they think about Athens, they think about the islands. But we have been in Greece for almost 3 months, 87 days, so now we have to leave the Schengen zone. But we spent a lot of time in northern Greece visiting 15 different areas over 31 days. And we picked out 6 places that we think that you should go visit in northern Greece. So I hope that you follow my advice, put these on your list of places to visit if and when, and hopefully if when you come and visit Greece, and hopefully we'll catch you on the next time. The first city on our list is Kavala, and we're listing them in no particular order, but we are doing it by the order of which we came into northern Greece. So we crossed over the border, and this was the first place that we stayed, and it was a magnificent way to start. This seaside village is very old, very ancient, and it's a seaport for many, many people who are looking to travel to other islands in Greece. That scene that you see right there is the aqueduct called the Kamares Aqueduct. Now mind you, I've seen a lot of aqueducts in my day, but this is probably one of the best preserved ones I've ever seen, and as we rode into the town, we rode right underneath it. Another highlight of Kavala is the castle on top of the hill called Kavala Fort. And it's just magnificent. From up there, you can see views all the way across the water, down to the aqueduct, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful fort up there. It's also a very interesting town because it's a huge tourist destination, but yet it doesn't seem overly crowded, which is what I like about it. The scenes all over were magnificent. We stayed at the lovely Lucy Hotel. So we see this as a tourist destination, but not crowded as far as many others, and this was the beautiful sunrise that we got to see almost every day. Next on our list is Thessaloniki. In the United States, we call it Thessalonica, and that's probably what we've been taught over the years, and the Greeks, for short, call it Saloniki. A magnificent town, again, a waterfront town with ancient ruins interspersed throughout the entire city. You have the White Tower, you have the Rotunda, and here you have the underground cavern of the Agios Dimitros Church, which is one of the largest and most significant churches in the entire country of Greece. At one time, this was all under debris, and it had to be removed over the decades, over the centuries, and now it's absolutely magnificent. Everywhere you turn underneath here, you see just amazing relics of the past. This church was built almost 2,000 years ago, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it's definitely a must-see location if you ever go to the town of Thessaloniki. Even though Athens is the official capital of Greece, Thessaloniki is known as the cultural capital, and there's a lot of culture here. There are 15 UNESCO sites, which is more than any other city in the entire world, and it's a college town, so about 1/3 of the population is college age, which creates a lot of energy, a lot of shopping opportunities. Here you see the fish and the meat market, which is just beautiful. You can go and get fresh food whenever you want. So definitely make sure you put Thessaloniki on your list of places to visit in Greece. Of the 15 different places we visited on our northern Greece tour, Edessa was the one that really blew our minds. This is known as the City of Water, or the City of Waterfalls, and there you see Karanos, which is the largest waterfall in Greece, one of the largest in the world. And what's interesting about it is that the waterfall lip actually grows as opposed to gets worn down. In the water itself is travertine. So what ends up happening is that everywhere it lands, it leaves little deposits, and it's absolutely fantastic. When we first got there, we were at the top, and we saw a walkway down below, and we asked ourselves, can we get down there? And we did. We were able to make our way down around one of the parking lots, and so we went all the way down to the bottom, and there's not just one major waterfall there, but there's also 2 other ones called Lambda. We went to the bottom and we filmed it from the bottom, and it was absolutely fantastic. But then we had a choice. How do we get back up? Well, we could have gone back the same way that we came, but that would have been a little bit boring. So we actually saw the stairwell that went back up to the top, but unfortunately it took us through the waterfall itself. So I'm going to be quiet and let the music and let the sound speak for itself. I remember years ago seeing pictures of Meteora, but I did not recall exactly where it was. All I remember was seeing these pinnacles with churches and monasteries on top. Well, when we got to Greece and found out that Meteora was on our agenda, we got very excited. This is a true example of Mother Nature because all this is all natural, but it's also a great testimonial to humans and what we are able to create. Most of these monasteries were built between the 13th and the 14th century. Many lives were lost in the process, and they had to hoist all the construction material up from the bottom. It's absolutely spectacular. At one time there were 24 monasteries, now there's only 6. Olimpiada was one of our more mellow visits. It's known for being the birthplace of the philosopher Aristotle, and the actual town is called Stagira, which is beautifully restored. We had a chance to walk throughout it, but it's the water, it's the peninsula itself, the Halkidiki Peninsula, that really stands out. It's a very, very chill town, and even though it's a tourist destination, it is not overly crowded. So I would definitely recommend that you put the city of Olimpiada on your agenda. I was invited to the other side of the peninsula to take a tour of a dozen monasteries that are all along the shoreline going out to what they call Mount Athos, which is absolutely something I recommend that you do. We're going to finish up our tour not with one city, but with one specific area. It's called Halkidiki Peninsula, which is actually 3 different fingers that jet into the water, and it's pristine. There are forests, there are beaches, there's archaeological sites. It's absolutely fantastic, and we actually stayed at 3 different locations within the Halkidiki Peninsula. There's history everywhere you go in Greece, and this is the archaeological site called Olinthos. It was one of the most advanced cities that was built between the 6th and 3rd century BC. Thank you for joining us on our tour, and mind you, we've only touched bases on a few of the different cities. Along the way, we visited 2 amazing caves, saw spectacular natural beauty, and followed the paths of historical persons and walked where they walked, including Paul the Apostle, Alexander the Great, Aristotle, and several others. The beauty of northern Greece cannot be overestimated, and I absolutely recommend that you put northern Greece on your menu of places to visit.